Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. How is everyone doing today? Hopefully everybody is doing well. Well guys, in today's video we are delving into horror movies of the 1990s. We are going through the entire decade, just like I did with the last two videos for the 1980s. This video we will be talking about horror movies from 1990 to 1994, and the second half we'll be doing 95 to 99. Same rules apply if I haven't seen it or I don't own it. It's not on this list. I'm excluding movies that are, Christmas themed or more like straight summer themed. But there might be a few in here from time to time. One thing I did notice is, at least on the first half, I don't own that many horror movies from the 90s, at least from this first half. Second half, I own actually probably about the same. I don't know, it's crazy. I thought I owned like tons of movies, horror movies from the 90s, but apparently I do not. But I do have some. So let's just get started because I do still have about 20-something movies or so to get through, pretty close to that. I'm going to start off with 1990. In the first movie I'm going to talk about, I actually own on DVD, and for some reason, I cannot find it. But I own it, and I've seen it, so I'm included on this list. And that is the remake of The Night of the Living Dead, the one that's directed by Tom Savini. I think it's an excellent remake. I think the special effects are amazing. I mean, they had to be Tom Savini behind the camera, and I'm assuming probably doing a good portion of the special effects. I think it's not as good as the original, but I do think it is definitely a very worthy remake and definitely worth your time during this spooky season. So yeah, I looked all around. I don't have a clue where it is. I do have it somewhere amongst all my DVDs, but could not locate it, but I had to include it on this list anyway. Next up, we're going to talk about Tremors. This beautiful release from Arrow Video, this limited edition release. It's a 4K release. It looks fantastic. Tremors is amazing. This movie's a lot of fun. It's got Kevin Bacon in it. It's got Reba McEntire. It's got, the guy from... what do you want to call it? Family Ties. Can't think of his name, but he's basically the one who continued on through all the Tremors movies. But this movie's a lot of fun. It's basically about big, like, worm monsters underneath the ground that can locate you based on the vibration or the noise that you make on the ground. That movie's a lot of fun. Next, we have a movie that's got Kiefer Sutherland, Julia Roberts, and Kevin Bacon once again, and that is Flatliners. I'll be honest with you, I completely forgot I had this movie, so I haven't even opened it or checked out this 4K yet. I will definitely have to, but I have seen Flatliners. Flatliners is a good movie. It's been a long time. I know it's a bunch of students, like college students, who start delving with death and flatlining and seeing the effects of death. But I remember really liking it. I saw it like 2 times, I think, years and years ago, and I remember really liking it. But it's been a long time. So I don't fully remember it, but I'm recommending it because when I did watch it, I did remember really enjoying it. Next, we have this wonderful 4K release from Kino Lorber. Another one that I actually forgot I picked up and have not watched the 4K yet, but I've seen the movie plenty of times. That's Misery. I believe it's Stephen King. Pretty sure it's Stephen King who did Misery. But this movie is great. It's claustrophobic. It doesn't really have Halloween vibes. It takes place, during the winter. But this movie is really good. I really enjoy it. You have this woman who played by Kathy Bates, who is a huge fan of the writer played by James Caan, who writes these Misery novels. And he gets into an accident, he gets rescued by her, and she pretty much holds him hostage until he writes another Misery book. And things get pretty messed up, but it is definitely worth your time. Last on the list from 1990, we have a Scream Factory Blu-ray release, and that is Tales from the Dark Side, the movie. This is just an anthology movie. I believe there's 3 of them in here, and it's just a bunch of very interesting stories, short horror stories that definitely have good Halloween vibes, and I definitely recommend watching it. I really like the Mummy one, because I just think the Mummy is super, super creepy in that. But Tales from the Dark Side is quite good. I do really enjoy it, and it's actually time probably for a revisit. I haven't seen it in a couple of years, so maybe I'll do that this year. Next, we're going to delve into 1991. First movie we got in there is Wes Craven's The People Under the Stairs. This is the Scream Factory Blu-ray, and I'm not sure if this got a 4K release. I feel like it might have, but I just only have the Blu-ray. This is a quirky movie. This movie is really, really, it's kind of just out there, but it's really good too. It's really interesting. I'm not even going to go into details on it. Just watch it. I went in pretty much blind. I really didn't even know too much about it. That's the best way to go into that movie, but definitely you should probably check it out. Next we have another 4K release from Scream Factory, and this is a beautiful 4K release, and that's Child's Play 3. This 4K alone, like just visually, is worth it alone just for the hell. It's like a hell ride they're on, or it's like a devil ride towards the end of the movie, and that looks so good in 4K. And it's one of the cooler parts of the movie. The movie leading up to it, it's okay, but the whole end sequence I really, really enjoy. So you can always throw in Chucky and have a good time around Halloween. Next, we have a movie that's pretty family friendly. It's a pretty nice 4K, and it's one that I've always enjoyed, and I know my mom's a fan of this movie, and that's The Addams Family. With this fantastic 4K steelbook. I love the artwork on there. This is a lot of fun. It's just a remake of the TV show. I don't remember exactly when the TV show was on, but it's just a movie remake of the TV show, and it's really good. It's really, really enjoyable. I believe, it's been a while since I've seen it, but if I believe that this one actually opens on Halloween night or takes place around Halloween. I know the second one is more of a like Thanksgiving type, but I believe this first one is more Halloween. But even if it's not, it's just the whole vibe and cinematography and atmosphere they create in that movie is great for Halloween. Next, we have a movie that I absolutely love. I have the Criterion Blu-ray. I believe there's a Criterion 4K, and I know that there's a Kino Lorber 4K. I only have the Blu-ray, but I should probably upgrade because I love this movie. And that's The Silence of the Lambs. Oh, man, this movie is so good. If you've never seen this, it's creepy. It's well acted. It's just an all-around fantastic film. Jodie Foster plays a FBI agent who is looking for Buffalo Bill, who is a serial killer, and she goes to a prison to get the help from another serial killer, Hannibal Lecter. Sorry, I can't talk. Hannibal Lecter, who's played by Anthony Hopkins, beautifully played by Anthony Hopkins. And it's just kind of a cat and mouse game between those two, and then she's also trying to find this other serial killer on top of it. It's an outstanding movie. It really, really is. Last that we got from 1991 is a much more light-hearted film. Definitely one for the whole family. It's one that I grew up on, and I'm glad I have it on Blu-ray now because it's actually out of print, and I got it for a decent price a few years ago. I think it's kind of expensive now, but that's Ernest Scared Stupid. It's a silly movie. If you've ever seen any of the Ernest movies, they're all very silly. My personal favorite is Ernest Goes to Camp and Ernest Scared Stupid. And then after that would be probably Ernest Saves Christmas. And Ernest Goes to Jail after that. But yeah, I remember though, I mean, there were some parts in this that I remember as a little kid seeing it. And I remember it was kind of creepy. There's a troll in it who's a little bit creepy. I'm trying to think about what year. So what year was this on? 1991. So I would have been like 10 probably when I saw this. I remember the troll in this being kind of creepy. But overall, it's a pretty light-hearted, fun Halloween movie that you could pretty much enjoy with the whole family. Next, we're moving on to 1992. Now, this first movie here, I don't know if I'd really say it's a horror movie per se, but it does have supernatural elements, and it definitely has horror elements. I guess you could maybe call it a horror movie, but that's David Lynch's Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me, this really cool Criterion Collection release. This movie is it's super weird. They're trying to figure out, there's a show, and most of you have heard of it, but there's a show where they're trying to figure out who kills Laura Palmer in the show, and this takes place the days leading up to her murder. And it's a very out there movie. It's definitely not for everyone. I would actually recommend watching the show first, at least the first season of the show. Second season gets a little crazy, but the first season is really, really, really good. It's a great mystery, and it's an all around just very unique world that you get drawn into. But that's the movie. The movie definitely feels a lot more on the horror side of things than the show does. The show, it definitely has horror elements, but it's lighthearted enough and quirky enough because it was on, I think it was on ABC or CBS, or it was on some nationally televised channel. And so they had to kind of make it a little more lighthearted for the show. But that movie is definitely in your face. But they're both good. Check them both out. Next, we have a movie that I just watched for the first time last year. This is out of England, and it's Ghostwatch. And this is supposed to be a broadcast. It's supposed to be a real live broadcast that takes place, I believe it's on Halloween night, and they're at a house that's quote unquote supposed to be haunted. And at first, it kind of starts off and everything seems kind of lighthearted. Everybody's kind of joking around. The news crew's kind of joking around. And then things get a little crazy. They get a little crazy. And there's some elements in this that are rather spooky. But I definitely recommend Ghostwatch. Definitely this time of year. It's perfect for that. Next, we got a movie that's horror, but kind of just some straight comedy, too. And that's Army of Darkness with this fantastic 4K release. This, by the way, Ghostwatch, was from 101 Films, if you're looking to pick that up. I don't know if they still have that box set or not, but you can get just the standard edition. But yeah, the Army of Darkness, this is a fantastic steelbook from Scream Factory. This is the 4K. And this is the third installment in the Evil Dead series. And in my opinion, probably one of the best and probably one of the funniest. Yeah, it's definitely a good time. So if you want something that's horror, but pretty funny at the same time, definitely check out Army of Darkness. And the last movie that we have for 1992 is a pretty creepy movie. And it's one that I didn't grow up with it. I just watched it for the first time maybe 2 years ago. And I got it. This is a Scream Factory 4K edition. And that's Candyman. And this is a creepy movie. From the creepy cinematography to the creepy soundtrack by Philip Glass. This movie is just kind of unnerving. It just kind of gets under your skin. And it's just kind of a creepy movie. It's beautifully made. It's shot really well. It's an all-around just creepy movie. Definitely check out Candyman. It's something else. It's quite good. Okay, so now we are done with the 1992, and we are moving on to 1993. And the first thing we got for 1993 is Jason Goes to Hell. I know some people like this movie, some people don't. I think it's quite good that the spirit of Jason kind of hops from body to body. I think it's kind of a unique, original idea that they've never really done before too much. And I think it's just a lot of fun. I love Jason Goes to Hell. I love that artwork on there too. This one is definitely a good time. So check out Jason Goes to Hell. I mean, it's not really too scary. It's a slasher. None of those Friday the 13th are too scary. They're really just more fun than anything. And kind of ridiculous, but definitely a fun one to watch. Speaking of ridiculous and fun one to watch, we got the first Leprechaun movie. I have this whole little collection here. Yeah, Leprechaun. It's about a little leprechaun who's trying to get his gold, and he's going to kill off anybody who gets in his way. It's pretty ridiculous, but it's a good time. Not really necessarily a Halloween movie, but definitely one that you could throw in around the creepy season. And this set was not bad. I got this at Walmart. I want to say it might have been Best Buy. I want to say it was like $20 or less than $20, and you get all seven. You get 7 films. I think there's one that's missing out of here, but 1 or 2. But you get 7 films on Blu-ray, and I think it might have been Black Friday, but I got it for like $20. I still haven't even opened it, but I have seen the Leprechaun movies quite a few times and do always enjoy them. Next we have one that's good for the whole family. This can count as a Halloween movie or a Christmas movie. I'm fine watching it really either time, and this 4K is stunning, by the way. And that's Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas. This movie is a lot of fun. The animation is fantastic. This 4K looks outstanding. But this is definitely one just to throw in with the whole family. Some people might think it's a little out there, because it is a little out there, but it's not really inappropriate or anything. But yeah, The Nightmare Before Christmas is great. It's just fantastic animation and just a kind of a really cool, clever movie. Definitely check that one out. The last one we have for 1993 is one that I just got on 4K this year and just watched for the first time this year and really, really enjoyed. And that's Needful Things, Stephen King's Needful Things. This movie is really good. You do get the 4K version, the 120-minute version, and you do also get the 191-minute television broadcast version, which I'm guessing was just a limited series that had probably 2 parts when it originally aired. This movie is really cool. It's got a cool soundtrack. It definitely has fall vibes, for sure. This definitely has fall vibes. It's got its creepy moments, and it's just a lot of fun. This one I would highly, highly recommend to watch during the Halloween season. Next, we are delving into 1994, and that's the last of this. And I'll be honest with you, I don't own very many horror movies from 1994. So I only have 2 on here. Well, technically 3, because we can go back to this one, because I'd recommend this one too. We can go back to the Leprechaun, because we can, you could throw in Leprechaun 2, which I believe came out in 1994. So you can check out Leprechaun 2. So we'll throw that one in there. Next, we have a John Carpenter movie, In the Mouth of Madness. I feel like this one just has a 4K release now too. I only have the Blu-ray from Scream Factory. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like this one had or is getting a 4K. I thought it had a 4K. Could be wrong though. This movie is really, really good. This is a really, I think, kind of an underrated John Carpenter movie. This is definitely another one that's really good to throw in around Halloween. I think it has really good vibes for this type of season. Definitely check that out. I'm a biased opinion though, because I love pretty much all John Carpenter, even the ones that are not that great. I still like quite a bit. And then the last one we got is we're going back to this Nightmare on Elm Street box set, and we're talking about Wes Craven's New Nightmare. This one I really enjoyed. It's where Freddy kind of comes out of your dreams, and the whole cast of the movie is kind of going on and living their lives, and they believe that an actual Freddy is out in the world, kind of an original idea for this franchise, and it's one that I do quite enjoy. It was one that I think came out quite a bit after the last one. I feel like they did Freddy's Dead, and then it was, I feel like it was quite a few years, but then they did Wes Craven's New Nightmare. I could be wrong on that, but yeah, definitely Nightmare on Elm Street 1, Nightmare on Elm Street 3, and Wes Craven's New Nightmare, I think, are the best ones in this one. So hopefully we will be getting these all on 4K as well. But that's it, guys. I don't have quite as many for the 90s, at least even the first half, as I did for the 80s. But yeah, those are just some movies from the 1990s, some horror movies that you could maybe throw in this year and watch them around the spooky season. But yeah, guys, that's it. That's all I got for you. If you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. Let me know you guys like what I'm doing. Like, share, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And I will see you guys in the next video. And let me know in the comments below, what do you think of this list? What do you think of these movies? What other recommendations do you have? Let's talk about it in the comments below, guys. You guys are amazing as always. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.